Everybody, welcome back to Project 365. T minus 3 days until we're done with this thing. And today's question is, should I buy a franchise? And the answer to that is it depends, like a lot of things. The pros and cons of owning a franchise. So pros being you've got an existing business. In theory, you've got a support network or support system. You've got a lot of the documentation and just kind of that heavy lifting done that a lot of small business owners have to do on their own when they're building their business. You should have brand recognition, name recognition, that type of stuff. So there's a lot of work that has been done ahead of time, and you have a lot of resources at your disposal. But you pay for that. You pay for that in royalties and franchise fees. So there's the trade-off there. Not the cons of owning a franchise. You don't have control over a lot of what's going on in your business. So you've got to do whatever corporate tells you to do in certain areas, maybe across the board. And when you're a franchisee, oftentimes, again, because you're doing what corporate's telling you to do, you are really just an employee kind of corporate. So you don't have that as much autonomy as you would owning just your own brand. There, like I said, the cost, the royalties, the franchise fee, that can be a negative when it comes to owning a franchise. And franchises, they have their brand recognition that comes with them, but they also kind of have they might have a stigma with them, like especially if you're opening up a let's say a franchise restaurant. You get that Applebee's feel, which nobody wants. So those are the trade-offs there. The franchise is kind of it's probably a safer bet if you're not really sure what you want to do. But it might be cost prohibitive because you have to come to the table with a certain amount of money. You have to do certain things. And if you were to just go out on your own and open up a business in that industry, you can kind of bootstrap it. You can pull it together, like kind of piecemeal it. When it comes to banks are more excited about loaning to a franchisee than they are just somebody going out on their own. But then the fun thing with banks is what their definition of a franchise is, because sometimes, depending on the bank that you're talking to, a franchise could be someplace that has 2 locations. Some of them have a requirement that it's like 100 locations. So a lot of things to consider, but it's just really what's going to fit best for your personality and what matches with your bank account.